Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So in last session we have seen how to implement the Excel utilities. So we have implemented the Excel utilities class, and in that Excel utilities we try to read one of the Excel file which contained the two columns. One was the username and password. So we had multiple rows of data over there. So there was valid username, valid password, and valid username, invalid password, invalid username, valid password, invalid username, and invalid password. All those combinations we read and we just displayed them. So now in today's session we are going to implement this one into the data provider, right? So whatever we have done, we have read those values, and now we have to pass those values to run our test cases. That test case is TC02. So now we have four set of data, right, through the data provider. So with each set of the data we will run our test case once, okay, and we'll see. So if you see the first case, right, where we have the valid test data, so that will pass, others it will fail. Okay, so the first one should pass, others should fail. Okay, so let's start doing the changes. Okay, so for in order to do that, what are the changes we need to do? So let's go to our test class first. Okay, so this is our test class. So we're just saying test @test, and we have to mention what is our data provider class name, right, and what is the name of the data provider. Two things we need to provide. So after @test, okay, say data provider class. So data provider class. Okay, so which one is the data provider class? So we have created our Excel utilities. So equals to, let's say, Excel utilities dot class. So Excel utilities dot class. Okay, so this is our data provider class. So apart from that, we need to provide the data provider. Okay, so data provider name actually. So data provider equals to, so within the double quote you can give login data. So whatever name we are giving here, right, login data, so same thing we have to provide with your Excel utilities also. Okay, so this is name of our data provider login data. Okay, and this is the change you have to make. And in the user login, right, so see data provider, what it will do, it will go to this Excel utilities dot class, and it will go to that login data provider, and it will try to fetch the information. So how many information, what are the informations we are fetching? So we're fetching two things, right? So what are those two things? We're using we're fetching the username and password, right? So those two values should be passed over here, right? So let's say string username comma string password. So whatever data provider is retrieving, we have to capture it in our test. Okay, in our test method. Suppose there are multiple things, so first name, middle name, and last name. So here we'll say string first name comma string middle name comma string last name, right? And if we go down the test case, right, so you have seen, right, we are reading these values from the properties file. We don't have to read them anymore. Okay, so comment it out. Okay, and okay, comment it out. IO exception, we don't need it then, right? Okay, so delete. Okay, so we are not going to read the data from the properties file. Okay, so here also it will be there, but it will not be used. Okay, so it will not be used. We can get rid of them also. So let's make the changes to TC02 first. So here enter username, right? So sign up login page dot enter username. So this username is nothing but the just now we have defined the username in the user login method, right, in the test class. So see, this data provider is going to give me two things. One, first thing is the username, and second column value is the password. So first column I'm passing up the username, and second column value I'm capturing as the password, right? So you need to properly give the sequence also, right? So if first one you are passing the password, then you have to capture here as string password and here as the string username. But how we're passing? We're passing first column as the username and second column as the password. So that's how is the sequence how you are capturing. And this username will be enter username, right? So when we do the enter username, so we are passing that enter username, and similarly when we are entering the password, we are entering the password over here, right? So then clicking on the login button, verify the page title, and okay, user homepage title. This is user homepage title. So after login, we'll navigate to user homepage, right? So user homepage title. So it's, user homepage title. Okay, so user homepage dot verify user homepage title. Okay, cool. So after that, click on the logout link. Perfect. Okay, so this is the changes you have to make to your test case. Okay, so we are not at all reading the data from the properties file anymore, the username and password whatever we have mentioned. Okay, we can get rid of that out as well, right? And now let's see what are the changes we have to make to the Excel utilities class. So let's go to our Excel utilities, and if you see in the Excel utilities, we are saying this is our Excel utilities class, and we have this method, right? So in this method, So we can get rid of uh, this one, string Excel sheet name, right? So right, so we can first get rid of the main method, right? Because this is going to be passed, the data is going to be passed to the test class, to the data provider, so we don't need the main method now. So get rid of this one. Okay, done. Okay, so get rid of main method first. After getting rid of the main method, and so here if you see, if in order to access the read the data from the Excel, we need the Excel sheet name, right? So if we are going to use the same name as of the test name, right? So if the name of the method, right? So if you see here, the method name is what, your user login, right? And if you see the test data.xls, so what is the name? User login. So we are keeping the same name of the Excel sheet and the test case method name, right? So we can do one thing, we can use the reflection API, and we can use the method name concept from there, get the method name from the reflection API, and we can pass. So if you go here in the Excel utilities, so instead of string Excel name, we will update this one, right? So we'll update it to method name. Okay, method name. Okay, so give something method name. Okay, so what is this method? It is giving the error. So java.lang.reflect.method, right? This is what we need to import. So import class java.lang.reflect. Okay, just okay. So now uh, method name. So what a method provides the information about to access to a single method on a class or interface. Okay, so the reflected method may be a class method or an instance method, including the abstract method. So this is our method name, right? So now here, instead of Excel sheet name, now we don't have the Excel sheet name, right? So see, so earlier what we are passing Excel sheet name, the calling place used to pass the actual method name here, the not method name, it was passing the user login, this sheet name, right? So what we did a hack. So instead of hard coding this value, we have the same name as of the class name, right? So whatever the test class we have the test method with the same name, user login. So if you go to test method, you see this is the user login, same exact method name is there, same exact method name as of the Excel sheet name is there. And then in the Excel utilities, we are using the reflection API, we are capturing that method name, and then here we'll say name dot get name, right? So name dot get name, this is going to give that user login, right? So now we are good. Okay, so user login will come here. So now we are good. So apart from that, what else we need to do? So you have seen right here, tc user to data provider request to login data. So we have to mention this one, right? This is a login data provider, we have to give a name to the data provider, right? And where is the data provider annotation? Also we need to put the data provider annotations also. So now you say at the rate, okay, data provider. So data provider or TestNG annotation, perfect. So now it is data provider, and we have to give the name is login data, right? So name equals to login data, the same name whatever we have given here, the same name we have to pass here, right? So in order to be doubly sure, I'm just copy pasting one more time, login data. Okay, so now we are good. Okay, and now if I run it, right? So if I run it, then it should start running, and it should start giving me the those it should start taking those values and give me those inputs, right? A username and password input for each time a test case is run. But now here, if we run also, we'll get some error. It is not the it will not read all of them, right? So why? Because if we go to our base steps, right, you guys remember base step, we have defined our setup as before class, and here also after class, I believe. Yes, so before class and after class, that means, so it will run, this entire thing will run like a log manager get logger. Okay, so yeah, reading the properties from the browser property, and then instantiating the browser driver and launching the URL, right? And then after the test case execution is done, so it will go and quit the driver, right? But now what we need in our test user to, right? So the same test case has to get executed multiple times with each set of the input. So what do you mean by each set of the input? So now I want that test case 02 user login should run first time with this set of input. Okay, and if it passed or failed, okay, then it will go and run with the second set of data. If it is passed or failed, then again it will go run with the third set of data. If it is passed or failed, then it will go and run with the fourth set of data. So with each set of data, the entire thing has to get repeated from the scratch, right? What entire thing has to get repeated? So the whatever the before class we are making, it has to get repeated, right? So if you do it before class, it will get executed for once, right? For each test, it will get repeated only once, right? Before this test is executed, so this before test is going to get, before class is going to get executed. Okay, and then after that, one after class is going to get executed, which will not serve our purpose. So in that case, we have to update our base steps from before class to before method. Okay, this setup method should go as a before method. and similarly after class should be changed to after method. Okay, so now this is perfect. Okay, need to import it. Before method also we need to import. Okay, so import class. Let's see here, before method and after method. See, now it is after method, before class, before method. Yes, it's imported. So we can get rid of this unused imports also. This is fine. Okay, we can get rid of them, right? Unused imports. So now I think we're good. So we can go and run this tc 02 user login and see. So run. So this is with valid username and valid password. So click on logout, and now again it will start. Okay, so this is the second set of data. Going to the URL, maximizing. See, now key automation classes valid username. So now this is invalid password. Okay, let's see, your email or password is incorrect. This screenshot will also get captured. So now it cannot proceed, so we have to, it has to close after that timeout, whatever is there. So we have to close this one. Okay, so it got failed. Now third one. So in the third iteration, again navigate to the application URL and click on login. So this is invalid username, right, and valid password. Again we'll get that error message, right? Email or password is incorrect. So now we'll close this one, and again the last one with invalid username as well as the invalid password. Okay, so yeah, navigate to URL, invalid username, invalid password, click login. Your email or password is incorrect. So now if you see, we ran it 4 times. Okay, with whatever the input we have given, with those it has ran, and the before and after class has been changed to the before method and after method. So let's go to the execution report and see. So if you see, this is the default shoot. So tc02 user login, and if you see user login, so the first one was successful. Okay, the first one was perfectly happening. Second one, if you see here, went to the home page title, click on the login button. Okay, so here if you see, entered username, this is value whatever read from the Excel. Okay, username is qaautomationclasses, password, enter password is the wrong, qaautomationclasses 123. So let's open this one and see. So if you see the second one, right, that is the valid username and invalid password. So for the second run, if you see, the valid username has been passed and invalid password has been passed. Let's further see for the third run. So for the third run, QA automation classes 123, invalid username but valid password. So if you see here, invalid username and valid password has been passed, and then the last one, right, both invalid. If you see here, this is our invalid username and invalid password. Okay, so everything is invalid. So here also it got failed. So if you go to reports, all right, and screenshot, you should see those screenshots, right, where exactly it is filling. I think I need to refresh. Okay, so here only it is filling. Okay, so let's see this extend spark report. Okay, so user login, user login, user login, user login. So everywhere we're making it as fast. Yeah, we have seen like in report those things are not coming, failed, were not marked because we never configured the listener for tc02, right? So let's do that, and let's go to testng.xml and do that part also. So if you see, we only ran the test case individually. So now we are going to run the test case and just get rid of this one. Okay. 1 minute. We have to close the methods also, right? Okay, after this, because if I get rid of these methods, both the methods by default will get included here, tc01 open login page, and I can go there and delete the second method also. We anyhow we have if you see, right, this is marked as the commented one, right, the tc01. So let's delete this one, we don't need them anymore. That was just for the purpose of the showing. I have marked one as passed, one as the failed. So now let's go to the testng.xml. So we have testcase.tc01 open login page. Similarly, we'll have one more. Okay, so instead of class, let's close it over here only. Okay, and similarly one more tag, class, for tc02. So let's put it, and tc02 user login, tc02, and we say user login, right? And yes, cool. So now if you see, we have configured both the test cases to be run. Okay, so I will do one thing, just comment this line, first line. We'll just run tc02 and see, then we'll rerun it with both the test cases enabled. So go to the code and comment. Okay, so for this one, right? Yeah, so I think, okay, I'll give this comment. So okay, and here also. So this is the comment line. So this one is commented over here, and then this one we are just running for the tc02. So let's go here and run the XML. Let's see. Now refactoring, so comment. Let's see. Started. So this is only we're running for the test02, where we have the multiple valid and invalid combination of the user input or user credentials to be passed for each test case execution done. Okay, so let's see. So this is a valid case. Login. Now logging out. So we have given some wait there, thread.sleep. That's why it is waiting for this much of time. This is with valid username and invalid password. See, valid username, invalid password, login. Okay, this is failed. We have to close this. So this time invalid username and valid password. This is the last run. So invalid username and invalid password. Okay. So now close and stop the execution. Right. So now if you see, only first one got successfully finished, right? So the others you can see, like how we saw last time, invalid username and valid password and everything combination you can see here, right? What was actually entered and how did it happen, right? So, and now if you see, let's go to our report, right? That's where we need to see whether the fail and fail things are captured or not. So if you see, these are the my new screenshots, right? So this is, if you see, the valid username and this is invalid password. So this is where exactly it got failed. So it took a screenshot because the listener was present there, and for the each failed test cases, it started taking the screenshots. And again here, so invalid username and valid password, it will be both invalid username and invalid password. So we could see all those failed test cases related screenshots have been properly taken up here. And let's go to extend Spark report, open with Chrome. All right, okay. So now see, the first user login is successful, right? And if you see, this is also passing, user login is passing. And here if you see, this is failed, right? User login failed, verify user homepage title, and here it is failing. Similarly here also it is failing. Okay, this one also, here it is failing. So now if you want to see the statistics, go here and refresh it. So now if you see, one test passed, three tests failed. So each time when with the data provider it ran, we ran only one test case only. But how many times it got ran? It got ran four times, right? One for the valid username password, second one for this one, third one for this row data, fourth one for this row data. So one test case has ran four times. So if you see, out of that four, one test case is passed for the valid username and password, and three tests are failed, right? And if you see the report, one is passed, three is failed. This is the test. And similarly the events, right? If you see, so three failed and one pass, and there are some info, right? So those events are also logged in here. So timeline you can see, and what got passed, what got failed. The only one tag is there, smoke test. One is passed, three failed. So passed success is 25%. So you get the beautiful UI dashboard like this. Okay, so hope everyone is clear. Okay, so now we can do one thing. So we can go and uncomment that one. What is our testng.xml? testng.xml. We can uncomment this one and we can start running both of them. Okay, so I can just quickly run it once, testng.xml. Okay, so the now the tc01 open login page is opening. Okay, so All right, this is the first test, and then after execution of this one, we'll go with the second test. Okay, and the second test will run 4 times. The first test is done properly, executed and passed, and second test started execution. So yeah, let's wait for some time to finish this execution, then you can see the result. And I think there is one more concept I need to cover. So we need to run our test cases from pom.xml, right? So we ran test cases individually and saw the result. We ran from testng.xml and we saw the result as well as the reports. And now we have to run it from the pom.xml and see how the execution is happening. Okay, so that is probably we'll see in the next session. Okay, so we're done. Okay, last one. Done. So now if you see all tests should the execution report, right? So scroll to the last and see. So all tests should total test run 5. So why 5? So for TC01 one test ran, for TC02 4 tests ran. So passes 2, failures 3, skips 0. And if we go and see test data, no, let's go here, right? Okay, so extend spark. Okay, so report. So 3 new screenshot got created over here for the failed ones. So let's go to the extend swap report and see. So now if you see open login page, one is there one test and user login ran 4 times. So both are coming here, right? And if you see all are smoke test only, the category wise, both of the test cases are marked as smoke. Open login was pass and this user login was pass and these user logins are failed. And if we go to the status, you can see. Okay, so go here and you can see. So 40% passed, two smoke test, two pass, failed 3, and percentage wise it is 40%. Okay, and 3 failed, 2 pass. Okay, 2 pass, 3 failed. This is how you will see 2 pass and 3 failed. Okay, so yeah, that's all to this class session, guys. And if you guys are really enjoying these sessions, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and share with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get benefited out of it. And please do subscribe to my channel. It will motivate me to come up with the new such sessions. All right, and in the next session, as I have told you, we are going to run the tests from the pom.xml and we'll see that in the next session, right? So thank you everyone. Bye.